Today I'm going to show you how to make these gorgeous Chelsea buns. They're absolutely yummy, and today I'm using fruit soaked in brandy, so they're extremely delicious. So let's have a look together on this recipe. And remember, all the ingredients which I'm using in my recipes, I always list it in the description just below, so please have a look. In a bowl here, I've got 500 grams of strong white flour. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of salt. Give this a very good stir so the salt incorporates with the flour. We will make a small well inside the flour and we'll put 7 grams of dry yeast just there. And again, I'm just going to use a spoon and combine everything nicely. I've melted 40 grams of unsalted butter and I've warmed very slightly 300 ml of whole milk. Now I'm going to add the butter into the milk and give this a very good stir. I always check with my finger if the temperature is right. You don't want the milk to be too hot, otherwise the yeast will not activate. The next step I'm going to do with a mixer. So simply pour the milk and butter mixture into your flour, and I'm going to knead the dough for about 5 minutes with the mixer, and then I will finish off by hands. Place your dough onto the work surface and just knead it by hand just for extra couple of minutes. And remember, if you haven't got a mixer, you can do this right from the beginning. Now I'm going to shape this into a ball so it's nice and round, and I'm going to place this into bowl which I sprayed with oil. Now I'm going to cover this with a damp tea towel and leave this to rise for at least an hour. After approximately 1.5 hours, the dough has doubled in size. I've put a little bit of flour on the working surface, and now I'm going to roll this out into rectangle, approximately 30 centimeters by 20. I've melted 25 grams of unsalted butter in a microwave. Now I'm just going to pour this over the dough, just to try to distribute evenly. Now I'm going to sprinkle this with a zest from 1 orange, which I just grated, only the zest. And again, let's try to distribute this quite evenly. Oh, I love the smell of orange. Beautiful. Just a bit here. Now I'm going to add 75 grams of soft brown sugar, and again, just sprinkle this all over. Now we can add 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, and again, as before, let's just sprinkle this all over. And we're almost ready for the last ingredient at this point. We're going to add dry fruit. And I'm going to use a combination of dry fruit today, which is soaked in brandy. It's dry now, however, it's been soaked in brandy before, so it's got beautiful flavor. And again, I'm going to sprinkle this everywhere. That's 300 grams of dry fruit, which is quite a lot, so it's going to be absolutely delicious. Now I'm just going to press this down, just with my hands. And now is the fun part, we're going to roll it. We want our roll to be nice and tight. So we're going to start from the long edge. So with your fingers, with your hands, just make a little roll to start with. And we're going to roll this now. And try to roll it as tight as you can. Can you hear that? Lovely, beautiful dough. I'm just going to push this fruit in. I don't want it to come out. I'm happy with this beautiful roll. A bit of fruit has come out, so I'm just going to push it in on this side. If you're taking this part seriously, you can use measuring tape. So I can see this is exactly 30 centimeters. So divide this by 9 is exactly 3.3 centimeter. So I'm going to measure this and cut this exactly. So I have exactly 9 beautiful, the same size pieces. And I'm using very sharp knife to do so. The dough is cut now. Now I'm going to place this into lime tin. I'm using square tin today, which is 10 inch. Now very gently, I'm going to take each one and pour it inside. And I will do it in threes. If there's any fruit on the chopping board, simply just put this inside. And you can see I've got some gaps in between my buns, and this will allow the space for this to rise. Now simply I'm going to cover this with the same tea towel. I'm going to leave this to rise now for approximately 30 to 40 minutes until again it's kind of double in size. The second rice is done and have a look. They look nice and fluffy and absolutely beautiful. I'm going to put them now in a preheated oven, which is heated to 170 degrees fan oven for approximately 20 to 25 minutes. After about 15 minutes, I will double check, and if they're browning a bit too much on top, I will cover them with foil because I don't want them to burn. After 25 minutes, I took the buns out from the oven and they baked perfectly. Now we're going to glaze this. To do this, I'm going to use 1 heaped tablespoon of orange marmalade. However, you can also use apricot jam. I'm going to add a bit of water to this, and I'm going to melt this in a microwave. Now simply we're going to glaze this with our hot marmalade or apricot jam, whatever you have at home. Let me show you the final result. Have a look. Don't they look amazing? I can't wait to have one. I hope you like this video recipe. Make sure you comment just below, give me thumbs up, and remember to subscribe.